So it's the case that Democratic Party loyalists are often perplexed because Bernie or bust voters and Jill Stein supporters won't fall in line and support the Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton. And they're really shocked by this because we won, right? I mean, we got the Democratic platform. Even though we were cheated out of the candidate that we liked, we won because we got the platform. So they can't understand that if we won, we got the policy concessions that we were looking for, which we claim is the most important reason why we vote for someone, then why wouldn't we support Hillary Clinton? Well, my response has always been, it's simple, because those policy concessions are phony. Had Hillary Clinton adopted the idea of making public colleges and universities tuition-free at the start of her campaign and didn't just adopt that stance as a means of getting Bernie Sanders to drop out and endorse her, I would think she actually cared about that policy. I would think she would be willing to fight for that policy. But the fact that she only adopted it to get Bernie Sanders to go away shows us that she doesn't really care about that policy. Now, one of the major concessions that we won was superdelegates. I mean, the Democratic Party reformed the superdelegate system just for us. So, I mean, we won. So why can't we just shut up and fall in line already? Well, what we've been saying is proven to be true due to the release of John Podesta's emails by WikiLeaks. So we know that the Democratic Party establishment was just paying us lip service without actually giving up much. So one email states, I've lived through many national conventions and have found that it's critical that all delegates, especially those representing losing candidates, emerge from the convention feeling that they have won something, achieved something tangible. I think this is terribly important, especially with people like Bernie's sometimes self-righteous ideologues. We want them to go home happy and enthusiastic and working their asses off for Hillary Clinton. Oh, I'm sure we'll do that. Why not throw Bernie a bone and reduce the superdelegates in the future to the original draft of the members of the House and Senate, governors and big city mayors, eliminating the DNC members who are not state chairs or vice chairs? Frankly, DNC members don't really represent constituencies anyway. I should know, I served on the DNC first as executive director and then as elected member for 10 years. Very telling. So if we, quote, give Bernie this in the Convention Rules Committee, his people will think they've, quote, won something from the party establishment, and it functionally doesn't make any difference anyway. They win, we don't lose, everyone's happy. So we have two really telling admissions here. One, they try to make us think that we, quote, won. And two, the DNC is not representative of the Democratic Party's constituencies. You don't say, these are only the things that we've been saying since the beginning of the goddamn primaries. The DNC was not representative of voters, no matter how many times we called them and tried to put pressure on Debbie Wasserman Schultz to step down, to have more debates. They wouldn't budge because they don't want to do anything that would jeopardize Hillary Clinton's chances of winning the nomination. And so when they say that they make us think that we won, no, you didn't make us think anything, okay? We know that you guys are phonies and that you're just paying lip service to us to get us to fall in line. But guess what? The jig is up. We know what you're doing. It's just all bullshit. It's a ploy to get us to fall in line and support Hillary Clinton. Well, guess what? It's not happening. So anyone who was Bernie or bust, they're not changing their mind because of your phony concessions. They're going to vote for Jill Stein. Now, contrary to popular belief, yes, we are actually going to check off Jill Stein's box, because what was Hillary Clinton saying? She implied that we have no choice but to fall in line and support her because she's winning.
I am winning.
And she also always likes to bring up the argument that, well, you know what, when I endorsed Barack Obama in 2008, I told my supporters that they should vote for him, and they did that. So I think that when Bernie endorses me inevitably, I think they're going to fall in line too. It's not happening, Hillary, hence the reason why you are bleeding support among millennial voters and why 1/3 of us are opting for Jill Stein or Gary Johnson. It's because we know you don't represent us. Okay, you're trying to be the so-called liberal party's nominee when you're a conservative, and we see right through the bullshit. It's crystal clear. And anything that the party establishment does to try to convince us to fall in line is not going to work. You messed up. You just messed up and it's too late for you to win us over. It's still telling that they would actually admit to something like this, but it's not surprising. Anyone who's been paying attention, who's been observant, knows that these concessions that they gave us were phony because they're not really giving up shit. Okay, they can tell us one thing. They can say they're going to fight for tuition-free colleges, for example, or a $15 minimum wage, and we know that when they get in office, they're going to concede because the Democrats are spineless. They can't even support a public option. I mean, Bernie Sanders had to light the fire under their ass to get some of them to just fight for a public option, which is this just common sense. And many of them still don't want to do it because they're bankrolled by the health insurance industry. So this party, the whole thing is rotten to the core. We just got to kick all these people out and start a new party. Both parties suck. Democrats suck. They're the one party that had potential, but these WikiLeaks releases are showing that the party is just as rotten, as sold out to corporate interests as Republicans.